Hello, beautiful souls. I am Awakened Soul, and today we're going to be looking at Ethereum, setting it up for our next trade, and seeing where it's headed next. So, this is an educational YouTube, so I want you to learn how to fish for yourself as I walk you through my initial assessment when I look at a chart. First thing is, I do use the index chart, and I do set myself on log scale. Okay, really important. It's right here under your settings. Okay, so when I look at the monthly chart, the first thing I want to do is turn on the 1226 EMAs. Those are the EMAs I use in most of the case. It gives you a story, right? You could turn off your candles. And the story is, if price action is above 1226 EMA, we are bullish trend. If price action is under 1226 EMA, we are in a bearish trend. So 1226 EMAs are flipped. So technically on the monthly, we are in a bearish trend. Simple as that. Let's turn on the wicks again. So we're going to start with my beautiful trend lines. And we're going to start from where history starts. One touch, two touches. And my monthly trend lines are red. One touch, two touch. I mean, just off the bat, you could see that that was a rising wedge that broke to the downside. One touch, two touches, right? Okay, I'm comfortable with those trend lines. And of course, how do I know where to draw my trend lines? It's support, resistance. This is major support. And this one touch, two touches, three touches makes sense to me. So I'm placing that trend line here. Another trend line that could be a big possibility is this one touch, two touches, and then it broke out to the upside, right? Okay, so as a day trader, you want to focus on your range. What is your range? So what you're going to do is go to the previous candle. So this is our previous candle of the month. And just mark the highs and the lows. That's your resistance. This is your support. Easy peasy. Okay. And if we do find a rotation here, and if we do decide to come back down, I am going to give you a monthly bearish target. That's going to be based on this trend line. It actually hit it already. What a beauty. Look at that. Okay. One more thing I want to do. One more trend line. From 1 point, 2 points. And one more target here. And all this comes with experience, right? But, you know, just focus on one technique. Learn that technique and see yourself grow from it. If you keep, just learn the stuff that you need to learn to make money. There you go. Okay, so now that we're here, I want to go into, so just like I created support trend lines, you have to create resistance trend lines, right? It's part of being a technical analysis. No expectations, no emotions. You have to be prepared for both scenarios. So this is going to be my bullish target here. And how did I get that? It's a one touch, two touch technique that I do have in my Awakened Soul School course. So if you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me at awakensoul_369, where I share all my setups, my expectations, my day trades. I chart all charts. So if you have any requests, let me know. I just charted Matic, Shiba last night. So yeah, let me know. It looks like a techno party, but I trade with the trend. right? So it's important for me to understand the flow, to understand the trend. Let's move on to our weekly. So what story is the weekly telling us? What do you see? So in the weekly time frame, as you can see, first thing we notice is price action above 1226 EMAs. So that's a bullish trend. Okay. So now that I'm in my weekly, I do want to focus on contraction phases, right? This is one contraction phase, and this is a second contraction phase. So this contraction phase is going to form a pattern. What pattern do you see, or what can you tell? Is there anything obvious, right? So let's focus on our contraction phase and see what story could this contraction phase tell us. So sometimes I've brought in the line chart. The line chart has helped me, guided me on setting some trend lines. Also the pivot highs and lows, great indicator. And again, that's also helped me to mark those trend lines, right? So this is going to be a trend line. And my weeklies are orange. And this is going to be a trend line. Right, one touch, two touch. And what do we see? A rising wedge off the bat, right? Can't ignore what we see. That's what we see. So if this is a rising wedge, and a rising wedge most likely break to the downside, what would be your measure move? So it's based on the body of the wedge, and check that out. So we're talking like 700s around there. Market, right? Man, I mean, could this flag be a flagpole? Sure. And where would it come? To this area that I have previously marked. Beautiful TA. 2 400s. So it's a possibility. It's something that you have to be aware of when you're doing even day trading, because you have to again understand the flow of the market, right? So if the weekly is showing us that it's a possible rising wedge, and then we have monthly support being tested right now, so if that breaks, most likely we're going to have a retest of this support, of the weekly support. It's level to level, okay? Level to level. Another thing you want to another thing that I like to bring down is the fixed range volume profile. You just pull it on your contraction phase, and this is telling us the point of control is down here at 12,200. Okay. So now that we're here, let's see, do I have any divergence? Let me get my RSI. Of course, I'm looking for that rotation. I'm looking for that divergence up top. I don't see divergence right now. It's okay. Maybe some hidden divergence here. The RSI thing, I don't really look at it. I do, but I don't. It's the last thing I care for. As I trade with the flow and I look at price action and what's going on today, what's happening on today. All right, so now we move on to our daily. Okay, on our daily, what do we see? What do you see? Again, look at your trend. First and most important thing. Let's look at your trend. What is your trend telling you? This is your trend. RSIs are made just to show you the trend. It's not a confirmation of going up or down. It's just to show you a trend. Right now, price action is 26 is above the 12. So our trend is down, right? Easy peasy. So same process. I didn't actually mark a range, sorry. So I got my trend lines on the weekly. I totally forgot. So remember your range. This is your high, because we're looking at the previous candle, and this is your low. Previous candle. That's your range. You go to the daily. This is your high. This is your low. Okay, it's like an elevator. Price action. If we don't hold monthly support, we're going to come down to daily support. And if we hold and we break above the weekly resistance, then price action could hold here and continue up to the daily resistance. Okay, another great indicator once I'm in my daily that I've been using is the Trader XO levels. Trader XO levels have shown me great resistance support levels too. So just off the bat, I'm going to mark them. So right here, it's telling me that we have major monthly resistance. Okay, and I hope you're having a beautiful, what is it, Saturday today? Beautiful Saturday. I'm just going to mark it. It is supply and demand game. So you might want to check your supply and demand. I don't really, I do check it. So it depends, right? All depends on the day, what's going on. But the supply and demand, I'm going to go to the monthly. Right, lots of demand down here. Supply, a lot of supply up here. Just to visualize what's going on. But for me, it's hard to trade with supply and demand. It's just not my style, per se. But I do keep an eye on it. Alrighty. So back to the daily. So now that we created our range, we want to create our trend lines, okay? And again, if you're having a hard time doing trend lines, because I still need assistance, I turn on the higher high, lower low indicator. I'm going to go for a 9. And just set some trend lines that are going to make sense today, that are close to price action. Okay, so this makes sense to me. 1 touch, 2 touches here. That's my daily. Another trend line. 1 touch, 2 touches, right? So on the daily, what did we see now? See how the patterns start changing? You see a possible wedge here, possible flag here. But I did notice something really quick when we were using the 3 pivot highs and lows. Just look at market structure right here. Right? We're creating new lows, new lower highs. So this is giving me a sense of like an inverted cup. Right? We just need this neckline to break. Something to be conscious about. Let's go to our 4 hours. And yes, this is what I do every time I come into the charts. I take my time and I assess the charts. I don't just, because again, I want to see the flow. I want to understand where this is going. My 1226 CMAs right here. Okay, 4 hours, we're still in a downtrend. As you can see, 1226 EMAs. So, what do we see? What do you picture? What pattern is this contraction phase telling us? Right, this was an uptrend. 4 hours are green. Irrelevant to what's happening now, but I do like to mark the strong greens, the strong reds. So this was a megaphone, and I hope you can see it here. And we broke down to the downside. okay, a megaphone, and it's broken down to the downside. So that's a big thing. Just based on this contraction phase. 1 touch, 2 touches. So what is your megaphone measured move? If I'm not mistaken, repeat from your high to your low, right? So it's going to give us like a 1600 target. So knowing that we broke a megaphone, right, in my 4 hours, it's going to give me another clear view, and we're in a downtrend. But in the 4 hours, this could be a falling wedge, right? I mean, it's not easy, guys. It's not easy. You have to really assess the charts and understand where the flow is going. That's why I said level to level. We're day traders, so you play what you see, not what you think. I mean, I am super bearish, don't get me wrong, but I also understand that price action. Let me just draw it for you. Where's my marker? When I find my marker, it's going to be the last one I touch. Right, just based on this wedge coming down, this was the retest consolidation. I understand that for the weekend we could continue here as a consolidation, and then we could still go up and then down. Right, it's important to understand that. So my 4 hours, this is what I'm seeing. 4 hours are critical for my trend lines. I want to turn on the line chart. I hope I'm not losing you, and I hope you're seeing what I see. Like I said, it's not easy, but it's a beautiful game if you understand it. So what I like about this trend line, this megaphone support, is that we did have the retest. Okay, so that's big because sometimes you don't have the retest, this megaphone that I drew. So we broke down, we retested, and we came back down. So that's giving me confirmation of a downtrend. So in my 4 hours, I'm going to start building my highs and my lows. And I like to use pivot highs and lows. Create indicator 2. So just off the bat here, this is our high, our 4 hour high. This is our low. So we're getting closer to our range here. I wonder if there's divergence here. There is bullish divergence here, actually. See? So something to be aware. Price action comes down. Price action comes up. RSI comes up. So something to consider there. Bullish divergence. Okay, so I have my 4 hour range. I'm going to go to my 1 hour. So we're creating a new high on the 1 hour. So this is going to be my beautiful support. $30 minutes. Okay. So this could be a flag, a bear flag, I'm seeing. Okay. So bear flag, usually when you have a drop, usually the reversal comes back to a 38.20 level. In this case, it's retrace all the way to almost the 61.8. So it invalidates the bear flag. It's okay. We're just assessing everything, right? So right now, this is what I'm seeing. This is the play. This is a tight wedge here that's being taking place. This is going to be my range for my next trade. And even though we're in a downtrend, we can most definitely have a nice bullish scalp to the upside. Something to consider, right? Placing a trend line here. So if we break, how beautiful that is. So we break trend line. So I have a strategy of my 1226 EMAs flipping, my trend line, and support breaking. So this is my range. This is my next setup. Okay. And 1 hour after. But it's important. I'm telling you, like, you just can't come in and assume things are going to happen. So this is going to be my setup, and I'm going to give you a TP right now. That's going to be my TP. So if I see price action, okay, crossing this high, crossing the weekly resistance, right, and holding support, and I'm going to set my alarms for all this beautiful price action. So if price action comes here, breaks, holds support, it will trend up, it'll continue up, and it's going to hit this target. Okay, so I'm going to set my alarm in this trend line. And when it's ready, it's going to call me. And that's how I trade. Right? And this is going to be major support. So if I have price action, break, I'm going to, this blue support, it's going to alarm me. And I'm going to feel comfortable taking a short. It's already alarming me. Something's going on. You know, the alarms on TradingView or something else. So I'm going to set a new alarm. I think it was alarming me because it had worked already. So I'm going to put it a little bit lower. Let's see. Down. Beautiful. So it's going to alarm me when if it crosses up, crosses down, this is going to be my range. And if it crosses down for my short play, right, I'm going to take a short here. Why? Because it's going to cross my trend line. It's going to cross my support. And I'm probably going to ride it all the way to the daily support. Okay, and that's how I play the game. Remember, the trend is down, so be careful with longs. You're playing against the trend when you're longing right now, but it could definitely be a possibility because the trend is down 4 hours and 2 hours and the 1 hour. So just be aware of that. Okay, so may the force be with you. I hope you learned something more than anything. If you need me to chart any chart, leave a comment. I'm here for you, and join my free Discord, and this is what I do all day every day in my free Discord. Thank you. Have a good day.